Why is there such a strong focus on the Sahasrara, or the crown chakra, in modern yoga? Well, the reason for this is actually quite simple. If you examine the position of the chakras on the body, there is a linear ascending progression from the Muladhara to the Sahasrara. Within that system, what is expressed is the role of guna, tamas, rajas, and sattva in the expression of consciousness within the Kali Yuga. So, everyone who is born in this yuga is rooted in the material, which is represented by the Muladhara. This is the most obvious expression of consciousness. It is what is immediately accessible to us when we are born. So, the Sahasrara rests at the peak of consciousness. And most people who have not practiced yoga through the first initiation or the right-hand path are enamored by the crown chakra because it is as far away from our base materiality as we can get. So, when you begin to practice yoga or any other kind of magic, there is a natural focus towards ascension. That is what we mean by the first initiation or the right-hand path. Ascending in Kundalini from the Muladhara to the Sahasrara. So, the Sahasrara holds a special place, but only for those who have just begun their path in yoga. There is far more beyond the Sahasrara for those who can achieve the first initiation. One thing that you discover after you complete the right-hand path is that when you reach transcendence by bringing Shakti at the Muladhara to Shiva at the Sahasrara, you escape confinement to guna. No longer is there a linear progression from tamas to rajas to sattva. Now, everything is in a new balance, a balance that is in alignment with your dharma. And this balance is different for every yogin. Being released from guna means that you can experience the inherent non-duality of consciousness. And so, you are not restricted to this obsession with the Sahasrara. You are not restricted to this ascending path through the spine. Now you are able to access your dharma through an individuated expression of consciousness that we recognize as the ego. Ego death is emphasized strongly in modern magical practice because most people will never complete the first initiation. Many of the gurus and sages that reach the Sahasrara are trapped there. They never complete the first initiation. One of the goals of the first initiation is to develop a solid foundation in the material, in Shakti, so that when you reach the Sahasrara, you are not absorbed into the light. You do not become obsessed with the sun. The emphasis on the solar cult that we find in the works of Julius Evola, Rene Guénon, and now the Western New Age, and even within India, this obsession with the solar cult is a result of many initiates never completing the first initiation. These are, in fact, failed magicians, failed yogins, who then spread their misunderstanding and disease to other people. These yogins do not exist outside of guna. They have not reached fourth state superconsciousness, what we call Taraya, represented right here by this dot on the Om. They are stuck within this realm. They have not pierced Maya. No matter how many times they tell you they've reached transcendence, I can read the compulsion in them. I can see the obsession with the sun. Like Icarus, they have flown far too close to the sun without any material grounding, and they are being burned every day by the sun poisoning. Now, I'm not saying that the sun is a bad thing, but it certainly isn't purely good. The sun is just as poisonous as it is medicinal. And so you have to make sure that you keep these things in balance, lest you be absorbed into the light. After you complete the first initiation and you begin to walk the left-hand path, you have accessed the Shatkona, the upward-facing and downward-facing triangle, which represents Mithuna, sacred sex of Shiva and Shakti, in unification. Yoga, in fact, means union. That's what we're talking about, reaching the Anahata on the left-hand path. The Anahata is the place of the king. It is a mistake to assume that the power of the king comes from the crown that he wears. A good and powerful king rules from a base in the heart, which is the expression of Dharma. Now, I'm not saying that the Anahata is the supreme chakra. Let's not make that mistake, because once you complete the first initiation, all of the chakras are recognized as carrying equal value. However, there is a balance of consciousness that is right for you, just as there's a balance of consciousness that is right for me.